Hello team. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to use Google Cloud Vision and implement on Cloud Run functions. So basically if you see Cloud Vision API, this is one of the most quick and easy to implement API for doing all the tasks like text extraction, OCR and all. So there are other alternatives within GCP, for example, Document AI, and you can use an LLM also using Gemini. But we are going to use Cloud Vision API because it's pretty quick, effective, and very easy to use. So what we are going to do today is we are going to upload a document. We are going to use Cloud Vision API to extract the text out of it page by page, and then we are going to deploy this into Cloud Run functions. So it is going to run on Cloud Run functions as such, version 2. So that's for today. So let's get started. So all the Git code is already available. So while posting this video, I will also upload the GitHub link. So essentially what we are trying to do is we are trying to deploy Cloud Vision on Google Run functions. And the way we are trying to do is we are actually creating a fast API endpoint. So if I go here, I will see all of my files. So this is my main.py, and here if you see, we are trying to deploy using fast API. So we have some couple of endpoints which I'm going to demonstrate. So one endpoint is pretty simple, which is nothing but health. And this health function just checks whether the API is running or not. So post we deploy will check the health. In all of the function API endpoints, I have bearer token. So just for safety, I've just added bearer token. There may be some better ways to do it, but that's what we are trying to do. Apart from that, overall, if I talk about 30,000 feet view, what we have are three APIs. So what we have as an API are three endpoints. One to start the job. So once we upload, it uploads to a particular location within Google Cloud Storage. So this is what is going to start the job. Then we have something called status, where we'll be able to see the status of that particular job. And at the end, what we can do is we can fetch the results. So that's what is going to happen, and everything is run via fast API using something called Velox, which is used to run fast API on Cloud Run functions. So as far as the description goes, it's pretty simple. So what we are using is again dev container. So if you see, I have dev container installed. So I have all the dependencies which I have installed. So all the dependencies goes here, and it is going to essentially install Google CLI. That's what it is going to do. And post that, what we are trying to do is we are adding few services. So we are enabling some services. So that's what you can do. So within Google CLI, you can run this command to enable all the services. So within dev container, once I install Google CLI, then what I can do is I can enable all these Google Cloud services. Then what we are trying to do is we are actually adding three buckets. So we will be using some jobs to run this Cloud Vision functions. So what we have to do is we have to make these storage buckets. So that's what we are trying to do here. And once it is done, it is pretty easy to deploy. So what you can do is you can deploy this in a particular environment as such. So I will just try to deploy it quickly just to show that what are the things which are available. So for example, here is my command to deploy, and it is going to deploy just now. So meanwhile it is deploying, I will again come back. So I'm back, and here is what we deployed. So basically we deployed via a name. We selected a region. We selected Gen 2, which is generation 2 of Google Cloud Run functions. Then we discussed about which environment to use. We will be using Python 3.30, and we have some more parameters like memory, timeout and so on, and all the environment variables. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to have everything instantiated while I'm putting this into deployment. So I'm having all the variables defined here, and the most important variable is I have a bearer token of something like wow1234. So with this bearer token and things deployed, I have a URL, and this is where I'm going to test all the APIs which I have built. So the first API which is there is the health API. So if you go to this particular code, I have something called health API, which is just for a checking, nothing else. So here is my API, which is for health, and it is just checking whether things are running right or wrong. So let me clear this, go to this and try to see if it is running. So it is running. If I select some other bearer token, for example, let's say I do or select a different bearer token, something like this, then this is not going to work, and it is going to give me an error. So it's an invalid bearer token. So this is happening. Now I have three API endpoints. So first API endpoint is to start the job. So this is how it looks like. So what I'm trying to do is I am just, trying to give it a resume. This is the resume, a fake resume which I have, and this is what I'm trying to give it to it. And this is what it uploaded, and it gave some parameters, for example, this as such. And this is what we are going to use to check my status. So if I go here and if I change few things, for example, I go here and I change few things like here. Let me see what is the status. So here is, I will get to know the poll status. So I'm running this. It said, done, which means again this output is already available somewhere within my storage account. And to at least retrieve the results, what I'm trying to do is I need to run few things. So my first API which I called here, it has some task ID. So for example, the task ID was this one. So this is what I need to run my end output. So here I'm fetching those results from my Google Cloud Storage, and I'm also trying to prettify it. So just to see how it looks like, let's try to run this and see if the answer comes. So yeah, answer is there. So this was the resume, sort of proxy resume, and if you see, it gave me an output which talks about a particular person, Jackie Doe, SAP functional consultant and business analyst, and so on. It gave me the first page output. There are total 3 pages. If you see, there are total 3 results. So this is second and this is third. If I go to third page, this is what the text looks like. So that's it for today. So today we used simple Google Cloud Vision as such to come up with the answer. So this is the API that we use, which is Cloud Vision API. And maybe later we'll try to convert this into an MCP so that it's accessible to everyone. And maybe try to add few more things. For example, let's say try to do some, you know, text extraction or a structured data extraction from the resume itself. So that's what we are going to try to do next time using an MCP. So thanks team. Thanks for watching. Bye.